Hi everybody, I'm Dee.
And I'm Jay, and we are ParoDeeJay. Now we are back at home, if you can't tell.
Festive.
That's right. But we need to do our final thoughts on Costa Cruises, our first ever experience with that line.
Yeah, time to put a bow on it, if you will.
Yes, we've had time to sit and think and make notes on the phone and all that good stuff. Yep. So I've broken it up into several categories as usual. Let's start with just a quick discussion of the ship. Now, this is Costa's newest ship as of the recording of this video.
Right.
It's an excellent class ship, which is similar in size anyway to Carnival's XL class, if you're familiar. Mardi Gras Celebration, Jubilee, Festival, on down the line. Built in 2021, approximately 186,000 gross tons. That doesn't mean anything to me, but I know some people know what that means. 337 meters.
All right.
And it's a sister ship to Costa Smeralda. Mm-hmm. It holds approximately 6,500 passengers.
It's a biggin'. Yes.
That it is. Now, that's all I had to say about the ship itself.
Right.
So let's get into the important stuff. Food. What is included? Now, there are at least 4 or 5 different dining rooms from what we learned.
Yeah.
Ours was called L'Oliveto. And just the food in general. So how was your overall food experience?
In the dining room, the food was good. Like, the options might look a little bit funny to some people, you know, like some of the names and things like that, but just try them. It was actually, we were pleasantly surprised. The flavors were there. The pasta was al dente. I don't remember having anything in the dining room. I was just like, no. I actually had some fish that ended up being like my favorite of several cruise lines now. So yeah, it was very surprising about how good it was. And their sugar-free desserts were amazing.
Yeah, and I know, like, when you would place your order, like, the first course was almost on your table before you were done saying the order. Like, they must just have a whole lot of first courses ready to roll, and just out they came. So our overall timing, like 45 minutes to an hour on dinner, I would say. It
was nice because we're okay with a long meal, but we do want to get out and go do activities. So that was great to be able to, like, quickly get dinner and go to the dining room, have that experience, but still be out in time to do the activities.
Yeah, I can't really think of, like, you know, we're trying to do a little bit of comparison, but not too much comparison.
Right.
Like, on level, because the quality of the food, I would probably put slightly above, like, average, I would say.
Yeah.
I can't really think of who I would compare their food most to in terms of quality, but just...
Yeah, in the dining room.
In the dining room,
specifically.
Yeah. Now, our buffet experience was a little more limited. We did lunch on the first day, and we did quite a few breakfasts.
The main buffet that we had on the Embarkation day, that's big and has lots and lots of options.
Yeah.
But it's also very, very crowded. So we kind of steered away from that for the other times that we enjoyed buffet. So they have... in the main dining room for breakfast, they set up buffets, and I think in at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
And it's a little more limited. They did have, like, hard-boiled eggs. They had, like, your charcuterie kind of items that are very European, cereals, yogurt, fruit, lots of pastries, things like that, and coffee, which was not good.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the drinks section.
Enough for everybody, but a little more limited than you would find on most cruise ships, I would say. Yeah,
maybe a little bit more continental, but there were still some hot items.
Yeah.
And that's really all of the MDR discussion, I guess. And, of course, that is your included food, is the buffet, the MDR. There's a lot of upcharge options, which we'll be talking about, but a few notable food upcharges, Kiki Poke. I know.
Yeah. The price on that was not bad at all, and the options were really good. They had a ton of different, like, you could put 2 or 3 different things and all these different toppings, and the portion was decent as well. It was very good. I was very happy with that.
Yeah, would definitely do Kiki Poke again. That was a good choice, I think.
Yeah.
There was the Carlsberg Club and Bistro, which, yes, it was part free music venue, but it was also part, like, pay restaurant. We didn't really investigate that too much. I mean, we didn't go.
No. We only had 4 days.
True. There is the Pomodoro Pizzeria, which is where you get pizza with a show.
Yeah, they're, like, tossing pizzas in the air, and I'm probably singing to you. I'm not sure.
I don't even know.
It looked fun.
That's cool, dough. Dough. Okay. The Salty Beach Street Food, which, again, I just love the name.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what that was.
It's like your traditional cheeseburgers, hot dogs. Okay. I think it's the only place you can really get French fries without for any type. Like, you have to pay for French fries, essentially. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And then also, I don't know that there was necessarily free pizza because they've got pay pizza.
I didn't see any.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Food Lab, which is like their cooking school concept. It didn't look too much into that, but it looked cool on their website.
Yeah.
And then the Squawk restaurant. Now, Squawk is what they call like the kids' club.
That's cute.
But they have a dedicated restaurant for families with children from age 3 to 6.
Which is nice because kids don't want to sit for a long meal. So that's cool. And they probably have more kid-friendly food, I would say.
Yeah, I don't want to sit for a long meal either. So
we'll take you there.
put me in the Squawks. But that is the end of my food notes. Any other food words?
No.
We said a lot
That
of
was
food
good,
words.
yeah.
Let's move on to drinks words. Now, this is where it starts to get a little different.
A little bit.
Included beverages. You have water, and that is tap water, only at the buffet, or, the buffet restaurants, or in your cabin. That is the only place that I understand that you can get water without having a drink package.
Yeah. So if you're accustomed to going up to a bar, say on a different cruise line, and just asking for a glass of water, that's not really a thing.
Nope.
You have to have a package. Same thing at dinner. They won't just bring you like tap water. They'll offer you bottled water for a fee.
That's true.
It's a European thing, we found out. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that was probably the biggest culture shock that was new this time, was not really free access to water, which the water in the cabin, it was tasty,
It's
it was fine.
Yeah.
And you can get like coffee and tea at the buffet, milk, juice, things like that. You love that buffet coffee.
It was not.
I tolerated it, but it was not very
I don't know what was wrong with it. It was like water that was brown.
Yeah. It wasn't very, it was like maybe half strength.
Yeah.
And maybe it's European coffee.
They want you to buy the coffee, I'm
And
sure.
you did, actually.
I did.
You got some upcharge coffee, I
Which
think,
was
at breakfast.
lovely. And it wasn't too expensive, so, yeah.
Yeah, but really, in terms of included beverages, that's about all we found. But, I mean, that's, pretty typical of any cruise line.
Yeah.
You're going to have, like, water, coffee, tea, milk, and juice. They do have drink specials. I like how they had, like, today is Costa Toscana Day. Get 2 drinks for the price of 1. Today only.
Twice on our cruise, at least.
Yeah.
So that's, they celebrate that holiday a lot.
Yeah, and I don't mind it. So if you see specials, go for those specials.
Yeah.
They do have some drink packages you can get. They have one called My Drinks, which currently includes specialty coffee and tea, water by the glass. You get 1 half-liter bottle of water per day, per person, wine, soda, draft beer with meals, and a limited selection at bars around the ship, and some classic cocktails. It's not just like free,
Whatever, yeah.
weeby. It's still a very limited package. You have My Drinks Plus, which adds unlimited bottles of water. Luza fruit juice. I hadn't heard of it. I guess I'm a loser because I didn't know what it was.
Me too.
A few brands of bottled beers, like I think I saw 2 listed.
That is a few.
Premium and molecular cocktails, and some top shelf brands, and the cabin minibar.
Ah, okay.
There's also a My Soft Drinks package, but I really couldn't find any details on their website.
No, I have sold Costa before, and it seems that's something you book in the booking process, that you can see those details. Yeah.
So if you really like water, like a lot, you might want to get one of those drink packages. And that is the end of my drinks words.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's go to random entertainment. So in terms of venues to see cool stuff, you have got Colosseo, which is the midship 3-story multi-level round arena.
Go early. It fills up very quickly, especially the floor seats. Don't try and sit in the first couple of rows that are right on the stage, because they're going to block them off because the stage moves. So don't sit there. You're going to have to move. The shows are incredible, though.
Yeah, very artsy, very colorful and vibrant, energetic, acrobatic.
Very acrobatic. And most of the songs are in English.
Yeah.
So, you'll know a lot of the songs. The singing was really good. The lights were awesome. The costumes. They did a lot in that little space, in my opinion.
True.
So I was impressed with the shows.
Yeah, but unless you're in the first couple of rows of the elevated levels, your sight lines start to get a little sketchy. There's lots of poles, lots of supports, lots of not great seating.
And they do 2 performances when they have shows. So, you can catch it.
True. Because what did we see there? We saw the Leonardo da Vinci show.
Yeah.
We saw
like the pop art one.
Oh, yeah. And then Voice of the Sea.
And then they did one during the day as well, which we didn't catch. But yeah. But they did have a matinee option.
Yeah, but I like the shows in general. The shows, just in comparison, reminds me a little bit of like the early day MSC shows with the very much acrobatic and that. You've got the Poltrona Frau Arena, which is the front theater. Now, as we learned, at least the one show we saw in there, the Michael Jackson dance show, That's got some interesting sightlines too.
Yeah,
especially the balcony.
Nothing center stage, which is interesting because they turn it into a nightclub, so they have to be able to move things around. But the show we saw in there was good, and you could see everything from where we were sitting. It's just doesn't hold a lot of people, so again, I would go early. Yeah,
which I guess that's kind of like their secondary theater. I feel like the Coliseo is really where they want you to be for the big shows.
They do.
Piazza del Campo, which is that big aft deck with the staircase seating and all them dance parties.
That was cool. You could participate, go down and dance, or you could just be an observer. Lots of space out there, though. Yeah. It was a great area for deck parties.
Mm-hmm. And then really the only other place we hung out more than one time, I would say, is the Leonardo Grand Bar, which was that big bar with the Latin music.
I am a sucker for big lounges because it's something I find a lot of cruise ships are losing these days. They're taking away places to hang out and just, chat with your friends. There is no shortage of that on this ship. They have huge lounges, and this one was amazing.
Yeah, I do like that. That's why a lot of older ships for certain lines I like better because the lounges seem more well thought out. Instead of having to optimize every space for, and then just in terms of some more outdoor space, they had quite a few pools. They've got that giant splash aqua park, which was cool to see. Mm-hmm. And they do have the Squawk Club for the children's between age 3 to 11.
We did not look at that.
I don't know if they have anything for 11 to 18 or 11 to adulthood.
I'm sure they do. I'd have to double check, but...
All right, so that was my entertainment notes. Let's jump to just atmosphere in general. So what are you going to experience? Now, of course, we were on a sailing out of France that was visiting Italy and Spain.
Yeah.
So lots of languages. There were typically at least 6. It was amazing to see how many languages the crew spoke.
Yeah.
And they did speak English.
Yeah, we got lots of comments on the videos. Be like, I'm not going on that. And they don't speak English. I'm like, well, okay. So the crew, keep in mind, just like your typical cruise ships, a lot of them are from the Philippines and Indonesia. And our waiter was from Egypt. They speak English. That's the main thing they speak. But they also know how to speak the other languages for the most part to communicate with all the other guests. Yeah. So it's not an issue. You will be able to be understood.
Yeah, you have to sit through a lot and keep your ear attuned to when your language is going to hit, because I think of the entire ship, we were told that there were 40 native English speakers out of the 6,000 some odd people that might have been on that vessel.
Yeah.
Because the cruise director would get up there and, she would speak in Italian. How's all my Italian people? Woo! How's all my Spanish people? Woo! And then she's like, where's my English people? Woo! One voice.
No one's here.
She's like, no one. Okay. And then she would move on because, she knew English wasn't really needed, but they still did.
Yeah.
But you do have a personal, I forget the word, I'm going to call it an ambassador for your language.
Yeah.
It was that area near shore excursions and guest services. Mm-hmm. You could schedule a time to go and sit with someone who spoke your language well and just understand things. We didn't do that.
We didn't. If you walked by, their computers were up and it had the flag of the country that, your language would be from. So that was cool.
Yeah, I think ours was the Union Jack to indicate English. And as with any cruise line, the crowd can really make or break your experience. That's every cruise line. And we know there are a lot of customary things that are different with European countries, that we're not used to, such as line etiquette.
Taking turns.
Yeah. and we've come to learn that. It's very much like our first MSC cruise.
For me, it does put me a little bit out of my comfort zone because I am not a pushy person. I'm the person that's like, oh no, you were here first, go ahead. But you kind of have to be like, it's my turn. Because if you don't, everyone will cut right in front of you. And it's a little strange, but it's just the way that they grew up. And I don't know, it's interesting to see in action. I don't love it, but at the same time, I'm like, well, it's just different, and different is good.
Yeah, you have to just learn to adapt to the environment and know what you're getting into. It's like me, when I'm driving around the neighborhood, you might drive all nice and calm. You get on the interstate, you're going to have to drive like people on the interstate. Yeah. You go, you pass, it's adapting yourself and just understanding the environment.
Learning curve.
It's a different environment.
Yeah, so just be warned that it is going to be a little more pushy, possibly, depending on where you're going out of, than you might be, accustomed to. Mm-hmm. Just get in there and act like the rest of everybody else.
That's true. It's one of those when in Rome situations, exactly. I guess. You might feel like you're being rude, but I guess as long as you're kind of acting like the people around you, maybe you're doing what's expected.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. Here we go. So we've got, in general, my notes were that it is a pretty low fare cruise line with lots of upcharges.
Yeah. I do feel like the upcharges are not that expensive. So you can go and not spend a dime and still have a lovely time.
Yeah.
Or if you want to experience some of those extras, it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to do that. So it's kind of nice that they keep the fares low. You know, and that's why they do that. So they can have all these little additional things.
Yeah, I don't mind necessarily the cheaper cruise lines that do the nickel and diming because it's totally optional. You will find a cheaper experience or, you know, a less expensive experience because of all that nickel and diming. Just ignore it.
Yeah.
The amount of upcharge pitches around the ship I thought was funny. The funniest one to me was that every time you would sit before a show, you were going to have a live presentation for a few minutes in multiple languages from the shops.
Yeah.
And it was live broadcast. Here we are. It was almost like watching an ad before a YouTube video.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they were doing giveaways and things like that too.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
They were making it fun, at least. You do get once per day cabin service, but their gratuities are some of the lowest I've seen in a long time. I think it was 12 euros per person per day, which is kind of on the low-mid range.
Yeah, and our room store was great as well.
So I didn't mind that.
No.
There are no washcloths in the cabin, but again, that's something that we've come to expect with hotels and places in general around Europe.
We bring our own.
We did, actually. You'll find snack and cigarette vendors walking around just selling stuff, which was kind of fun to see. Now, what comment did we get a few times?
I am never going on Costa. They smoke everywhere. I can't believe they're letting them smoke everywhere. We never said that,
No.
to be clear.
They sell cigarettes everywhere, but they do still have dedicated smoking areas. You're not just walking around in a smoke ship. Actually, my smoke experience was pretty good on Costa.
Yeah, I didn't notice it more than any other ship, honestly.
No. So they do sell the cigarettes, but you're not going to be having smoke forced upon you just willy-nilly.
We wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, true. We did have a few internet login issues. We had bought a singular 4-device package, and it was weird the way that we had to switch it from the phone to the computer and back again, and then it didn't want to give us the 4, and so we fought with it. We figured it out in the long run.
It took some time, though.
Yeah. So it was strange, but not off-putting.
When it worked, it was great. Like, no connectivity issues once you got it working.
Yeah, once we got all 4 devices and actually got them going, we sort of figured out the trick by the end of it, and I don't even remember what the trick was at this point.
Don't ask.
Be sure to travel with a power converter, not just an adapter, because obviously this is the standard like 220, and some devices can't handle that. Most electronics can, but some things definitely not.
Yeah.
And we do have one in our Amazon shop. Hey, ParoDeeJay.com/Amazon, which is the one we travel with, gets you extra outlets, and it converts your power, and comes with so many different plug adapters.
It's a good one.
Oh, you had to see there's commercials in here too. And then the last question. All right, let's turn it off. Here we go. Turn the phone off. Would we sail with Costa Cruise Lines again?
Yes. Yeah, so for me, the ship was absolutely beautiful. Lots of spaces for everyone. I love the outdoor areas. The ship was clean. The crew were really nice. The crowd can make or break, like we said, that's just something you have to become accustomed to. But yeah, there's no reason I wouldn't. It wouldn't be my first choice, just because there's none around here. So.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were on like a little 4-night, I mean, I don't know if this was kind of like the, you know, Italian, Spanish, French, like 4-night party cruise or booze cruise or whatever they would want to call it. It didn't feel like that. It did not.
No, the crowd was not like party people.
Yeah, but my sentiment was I would gladly sail Costa again. I had a good enough experience and food and entertainment to where, yes, I would put it on the schedule if there just happened to be one that fit in. This fit perfectly in between our two, like the River Cruise and Holland America, which is the series coming up next. It was a perfect fit, and I'm glad the cost, I'm sure, was about the same as a hotel, but it included a lot more than a hotel.
And now we know what we're getting into, so like we'd be a little more comfortable even, and I'm glad we could tell you guys about it too. So.
Yeah, but it really reminded me of early days MSC. The parties, the shows, it was very much that feel. MSC has sort of adapted to the American audience, at least when sailing in Florida. Yeah. This was very much that old school, and I enjoyed it.
They had lots of activities, and I love that the activities crew would like make you participate.
They did. Once they knew that you danced.
They're like, Dee! And he would come and grab me, and I was like, well, and if you don't like that, you can obviously say no, but I'll go participate.
You danced a lot. So any other words before we put a little bow on Costa?
Just if you haven't watched the actual videos yet, that's going to give you the full experience and see, you know, what we did and the meals and things like that. So please go check those out. Just, you know, not just this video.
That's true. Thanks for watching this chatty video, but we do have pretty shiny action videos. Yeah, I'll put the playlist in the description. Yeah. But that is it. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in for another series. Lots more fun to come. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Become a Paromaniac today. Socialize all our media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yep. And until next time, rock on.